Hello, my name is Zuli Rain and I am a blogger and content creator. I make videos that help you grow your blogging empire. This video is about a topic that is so near, so dear to my heart, and it is make money by writing fiction. This isn't the first video I've done on this subject. It's not even the first time I've thought about writing a novel and I've wondered, like, how do you make money doing that? Every other way I've tried has been very convoluted or very tough or just flat out impossible. There are so many ways to make money writing nonfiction, like Medium, Quora, Vocal, Newsbreak, create your own blog and get ads, but it's actually much harder to do it writing fiction, despite there being a huge market out there for it. The main ways people seem to make money writing fiction are through like the Kindle program or through like traditional publishing, like you send out a letter to an agent and hope that they say yes, which doesn't happen that often. And personally, I've never wanted to write for Kindle since I do believe that Amazon is deeply unethical, and I don't want to, like, I will buy my friends' books, but I don't want to publish my own stuff there. So that's why I was so excited when I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw an ad for this thing called Starry Writing. So what do when you find something that looks interesting and you don't know what to do next? You put on your detective hat and you go for a Google. So I had a deep look at everything I could find on the Starry Writing platform. And I learned that what it is kind of like an incubator for rising, early, or new fiction writers. It's not built for people who already have an established writing base or who already have traditional book deals. It's for people like me who haven't really started writing fiction yet and want to be rewarded for doing these like small, easy steps with writing fiction. And the main benefit that I could see is that you actually get paid to write stuff, like you get paid to publish stuff. And I tested this out myself and I spoke to a real person who's been using the platform, so I know it's for real, and I want to share with you everything that I learned. Starry platform, they have various different platforms. There's one called Ringdom, there's one called Dreamy. I think there are a couple other ones that they operate under. And I learned that there are 100,000 writers all using this platform and over 100 million readers. I wanted to know how distribution worked, so I downloaded the app to see how I was recommended stories. And it's actually really similar to Medium, which is the nonfiction blogging platform I normally use. You download the app, you open it, you select your interests, don't judge me, this is what I like, and then the app surfaces recommended stories for you. It can show you stuff that's popular currently. It can show you things that are like being updated every day. There are paid options, which I'm guessing is how these writers make the majority of their income, through these royalties. And then it shows you some free options as well if that's your preference. So yeah, I think that's how a lot of these writers are getting discovered, is being promoted on the app through recommendations that the reader selects. So this is what I mean, right? There's a huge market for fiction writing that just isn't currently paid, or at least it wasn't until, I started finding this platform. They have a bunch of different courses that you can take and learn from. One of the ones that I checked out was the one on LGBT plus writing, which, I'm very interested in. And what really, for me, sets it apart from places like Wattpad, where I have tried and failed to build an audience and get monetized, is that you get a lot of smaller rewards just for like doing regular writing stuff. So the process that I found out is you submit a sample chapter, you submit it to be approved for contract, and then once you sign the contract, you get a bunch of little writing bonuses. So for example, you get $150 if you write every single day for a month. You get somewhere between, I think you get somewhere between $50 and $350 once you actually finish the novel, depending on how long it is. You have opportunities to win money by entering into contests. I'll tell you about this later in the video, but I've entered one of the contests. They actually updated the website as I was editing this video, which was perfect timing. So I wanted to include that I found some additional information on the income and the benefits. So originally I thought it was mostly from these bonuses, the signing bonus, the completion bonus, but it looks like the majority of the income might actually come from royalties and other potential income sources. So here they project an average of $200 a month for royalties income from people reading your work and purchasing those chapters. But where it gets really interesting is actually there was a whole additional section of where they think that you might earn money from adaptations as well. So you have the potential to have your novel, like the woman I interviewed is going to have her novel printed into paperback, which is really cool. You have the option of getting it done in hardcover if it's doing particularly well. You'll earn a portion of revenue from those adaptations if your adaptations are successful as well, which is, it's always cool to see and have that opportunity. So I want to be clear, like, depending on where you are financially, it could be life-changing money. For someone like me, it's not going to change my life, but I struggle so much to write fiction because it's so hard for me. So just having that motivation to sit down every single day, get my butt in the chair and actually write stuff, even if the financial incentive for me is a little on the smaller side, it's enough to give me a reason to write every single day. Like, the hard thing is not coming up with ideas, it's like actually creating the novel. And having these incentives, like I said, makes it a lot easier for me to get involved with writing my own book. And I love that they're encouraging newer writers. They're trying to encourage and uplift newer writers who might not know their way around the industry and are just looking for one chance. So I tested it out. I actually submitted a 4,000 word chapter of my fiction novel that I wrote. I was so excited to submit it. I'm so passionate about getting more LGBTQ representation out into the writing world. There just isn't a lot of it in traditional media especially. So I was really excited to see that there was a queer themed contest that I was very excited to enter for. And I entered for the secret lover theme, which is like, I'm just so excited to write in that. And I'm just thinking, like, I wrote 40,000 words on Wattpad. If I would have done that, I would have made like $150 right there, just like that. Like, that's all it would have taken. Okay. Investigation hat off. So I spoke to an author who has been writing on Starry for, I think, she said that she'd been writing for over 2 years. She's working on her 8th novel with them. She said that she'd made enough money to like literally change her life. And what she said that really resonated with me was that it's just so nice to feel that you're supporting and providing for your family with your word, like by writing words. And as you know, I don't have kids, I have cats that I provide for with my words, but it's still such an incredible feeling. So I will take you to the interview portion. So we spoke together on Zoom. I asked her a bunch of questions about what the process was like, what advice she has for other writers. So here is that interview. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this part of my video. I am so excited to introduce Phoenix, who is one of the top writers on the Starry writing platform. And from all accounts, it sounds like you've absolutely changed your life by writing fiction. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And hi, Julie. Welcome. Thank you for having me. Yes, you are right. It changed my life over time when I become a exclusive writer in Starry writing.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you discover the platform to begin with?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was late 2019, when COVID-19 struck the world and we are all in lockdown. So basically, you didn't have nothing much to do at home. And since I'm a bookworm, I love to read. So I searched through Play Store and searched for apps that have online novels. And that's how I discovered Dreamy. So I downloaded the app and have read lots of books from brilliant authors. And then I saw these create word on top of the page. So I click on that. And then I discovered that Dreamy is giving newbie writers like me a chance to try or write our story and be heard. So that's where I started my writing career.
Yeah, that is so cool to hear. I mean, I'd love to hear what you like to write about.
I'd like to call myself a romantic novelist. So I'm hopeless romantic. So I write basically romance novels. But my first book in Starry was about werewolf romance. And unfortunately, it's not really that famous with the readers. So what I did after that is I went through different paths and write the cliche romance story and put like a personal touch into it, like
of course
experience, a personal something that relatable to our readers, something that they can say, oh, I can relate to this. I think this happened to me, or this happened to a friend or a sister or relative. So I went through that. I basically left the fantasy writing and just focused on romance.
People love it. I am a I don't know if you can see my bookshelf back there, but it is like stacked top to cover with romance novels. I'm a huge fan. I think a lot of people, the Dreamy platform or the Starry writing platform, it might be a little bit new to them. It was new to me for sure. So I would love to hear from a writer who's experienced, what are the benefits of publishing on Dreamy versus like any of the other typical online writing platforms? Like what kept you on Dreamy?
Well, first of all, it's because I love what I do, and I do what I love. And Dreamy gives us the chance to do that, to do exactly what our passion, to do what we love. So, and then in Dreamy, they give a lot of benefits to new writers. They help you. They give you all the support you need, especially with our editors. I do love my editor, Miss Cherry. She's very supportive, very helpful.
Yeah. I'd love to know a little bit about your background. Like, did you ever write anything before, or was this the first time that you started writing?
Actually, no, this is the first time.
Wow.
It's just that I love to read ever since I was in high school. I've read a lot of books from Sidney Sheldon, Daniel Steele, all those brilliant authors. And then probably during those times, I was already planning to write my own story. I mean, I tell myself, what would it be like to be, the author, the writer of a very a story something that will touch people's lives. Yeah. Something that will help people probably believe in happy ever after, or, believe in love.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple of the intangible benefits, like the fact that you can call yourself a writer. That's fantastic. It sounds like also Dreamy is really, really into supporting new indie authors who, maybe they make a couple of mistakes early on because, when you're starting, you don't really know what you're doing. And they're willing to take a chance and still support you and work with you, which is awesome to hear.
Awesome.
It seems like there are a lot of smaller incentives and bonuses to try to keep you on the path, which is fantastic. Can you tell me, financially, did writing for Starry change your life? Did it help you? Did it help your family?
It did a lot. It did. It helped me provide for my family. It helped me pay the bills, pay the mortgages, and shall I say, financial freedom. Yeah. You don't have to go to sleep and then think of, okay, what about tomorrow? What about the next month? Where will I get the money? For me, it's really a big thing. It's a big thing, especially during this time of pandemic. You do have to spend a lot of time, like a normal job. Yeah, it's really rewarding. You can do some of other stuff like helping your children with their studies or doing household chores. Most of the time, I write at night.
All right, so we've touched on a lot of the benefits that writing for Starry comes with, like a lot of the highs. I would love to hear, have there been any particular challenges?
There are. I think most of the writers will agree with me on this, especially the Filipinos one, since we are not native speakers and English is not our first language. So there are the grammars, the punctuations, the sentence construction. And the most important thing is when you have mental block. It's really, really hard to get through that. But what I do is I sometimes watch romance movies or funny movies just to get my brain out of the story. Yeah. Just to think of other things than the story that I'm writing. Then or listen to classical music. Then after that, I'll get this ideas. Then I start writing. Yeah, it's very, very difficult for writers when you have that mental block.
Yeah, I mean,
grammars especially for us.
Would you say, because you've written now, I think, one completed story and you're in the process of writing a second completed story, not counting the werewolf one from the start. Is that right?
I actually have 7 stories.
7. Okay. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem. But right now I'm doing Tomorrow's With You. That's the ongoing one. I have, I think, 5 completed stories under study. The second book was the one who gave me much attention. I think it rose me to stardom. That's amazing. That's my second book where I received two awards actually from Starry 3rd anniversary. I had the Platinum Writer Award and the Fan Favorite Award.
What was the title of this book?
Year of Goodbyes.
Year of Goodbyes.
That's my second book. Yeah, that's my second book, and I was in top 5 of on Starry writing.
That must have been such an incredible feeling to see your.
It is. It was like. I was actually shouting, screaming, and calling my mom. And I said, I made it to the top 5, and I had the chance of, being published. That's amazing. They give the chance to top 5 to be published. So probably or hopefully early next year they will do that.
And so 7 books. It sounds like you started two years ago now. How long would you say that it takes you to write a book? Like from the very first moment of getting that idea of what you want to write about all the way to you're done and you're happy with how it is?
It depends. It's different for every story that I write. The
Mhm.
first story, which is a werewolf story, I finished it for like just 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started with the other one. I wrote two in
Mhm.
in the same months. I finished with the other book in a month, and then the
Mhm.
second book for 2 months. The
Okay.
Year of Goodbyes, I think I finished it for a month and a half.
Mhm.
So usually for every book that I write, at least it takes me at least a month to
Okay.
finish.
So yeah, sounds like you're very prodigious, just cranking them out, which is really cool
No, I
to
mean,
hear.
because I'm trying to get the incentive for writing every day.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they give incentive
This was
when
something
you.
yeah, sorry, I saw this. This is what, sorry, I
Uh-uh,
was excited.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I
It's
saw this
okay.
and it seems so cool to me because that's something, I know every writer I know struggles with this.
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah,
sit down at your
it is.
laptop and you just don't feel like writing that day. And even if it's like, $50 for, I think, writing
Hmm.
every day for a month, like
No,
yeah,
you get, I think, $150.
100. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
like
get a
actually a
hundred
really
if
big
you write.
incentive.
Yeah, and then if you reach 50,000 words
Mhm.
in the month, then you will receive the $150.
I mean, that's just like such an incentive just to keep
It
trying. Cause I
is.
know every all the like published writers I know say that their
Mm-hmm.
first draft is never like that perfect, but just like having to
Mm-hmm.
get the words out on a laptop screen, that's the hardest part and the
That's
most
the hardest
important
part.
part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the community on Dreamy. Like, can readers leave comments? Can they share your story?
Yes, they do, and it helps me a lot. Actually, when I'm writing my story, I get some of the ideas from my readers
Mm-hmm.
because I wake up every day excited to read their comments,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really mind the negative comments. I take it as a challenge or a constructive criticism because from there I grew. I
Mm-hmm.
learn from my readers. I know what they want or what they want in a story.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take offense on that. I thank them. I thank them for pointing the mistakes
Yeah.
or the hate comments. It's okay with me. At least I said to myself, well, at least they're reading it.
So how do people start discovering your story? I'm really unfamiliar with the platform. Like, is it kind of like once you sign a contract, do the editors then send it out to readers? Like, how does that work?
Once you have the contract and then
Mm-hmm.
you start writing, at first you don't really gain much
Okay.
readers or
Mm-hmm.
but that's where your editor comes in, and I'm
Right.
really really thankful. I'm really thankful with Miss Cherry because that's when what do you call this one, suggested to the marketing department to be promoted,
Mm-hmm.
like give it a try. So if the people like the first chapters, that's where you gain readers.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so your editor plays a big role in your story or in your book or in
for
your
sure.
writing career, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the help. Yeah, and all the help you can get from them, the support and the advice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she also give advice like, okay, I've read your story and let's do it like this, or
Mm-hmm.
let's change the cover,
Mm-hmm.
something that will really catch the attention of the reader, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she will give me a new cover for
Okay.
my book.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Yeah, it seems like she was
Mhm.
super instrumental. So
She is.
is there any way to get like views and start getting people reading your story if you don't have that story promoted by an editor?
I think you can like promote it yourself to
Okay.
your social media
Mm-hmm.
platforms like Facebook, YouTube, if you have TikTok or Instagram, and also if you be a part of the Story Writing Academy in
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. It's a big community. I think we already have 86,000 members.
Wow. Okay.
So when you promote, there are a lot of groups in Facebook about
Mm-hmm.
dreamy authors or readers, story writing, and Yugto. I think the Yugto is also part of the story writing. So if you get into those group chats or
Mm-hmm.
in the pages, you just have to promote your story yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
most of the time they don't like scroll and look for you, because they don't know that there are thousands of authors or writers in story writing. So
Mm-hmm.
you just have to promote it yourself. Sometimes I
Okay.
do that at first. I
Right.
do
Yeah.
with all my books.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
promote and promote.
it's just part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the process.
So we've talked about the challenges. Now walk me through some of the highlights of the 2 years that you've been writing on Sorry or Dreamy. What have been like some of those moments that you're like, is this real? Is this happening to me right now in my real life?
Yeah, okay. First was what I said as the 2 awards that I received.
Yeah.
It's like a dream come true. I got the Platinum Writer Award. I have the Fan Favorite Award, but most especially is I was able to move into a new house. I was able to buy a new car out of the incentives.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was able to provide for the family what they needed, what I want, something like that. So it's the highlights. I mean, the financial freedom, and you don't have to think what will happen tomorrow. Where will I get this? Where will I get the next month's bills? Something like that.
Yeah.
Although it's not really that big, but it helps a lot. It helps a lot during this pandemic. I make it a habit to always answer some of the comments and thank all my readers, because we won't be here without our readers.
That's so true.
No writers without our readers. So we owe that to them as well.
Absolutely. Hopefully after watching this video, a lot of new writers are like, hey, maybe I'll try it out. So what is your advice to new writers writing on Starry?
My advice is just do what you love and love what you do.
Yeah.
And if it's your passion, and just be patient. Be patient. Not everything like starts like, it's a boom right away. There's a process. It may be slow now, but soon you'll be on top. Like a few months, maybe a month or days or weeks, but at least you write your heart out.
Yeah.
Put your heart into it. Don't be discouraged. Just keep on going and chase your dreams.
Yeah. Great advice.
And then every story starts with one word. Make it count.
That is so true. That's great. I love that. That's so good. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching the interview portion of this video. On to the next part of the video. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Zuli.
Okay, so final thoughts on this platform. I've tested it out. I'm excited to make an update if they accept my contract. I think it's really good for new fiction writers, for people who love writing and who want to get paid for writing fiction. I think it's a really great platform for those people. If you already have, book deals, if you already have an established fiction audience, or if you want to try to go that traditional route first, if you don't really need the encouragement to be writing every single day, if you don't need to be rewarded for these little, for hitting these milestones like I really want, then this might not be for you. But if you're like me, if you want to write fiction, if you want reasons to keep saying yes, to keep working on your novel idea, this is it. This is a really great platform. I'm excited to see what comes next for me and Starry. If you want to check out the platform a little bit more, you can check out the link in my video description. I've got a ton of information. Definitely feel free to read the 2 stories that Phoenix shared with me, or any of her other work. I think it's really great to have this inspiring example of how high you can reach just by, again, writing fiction, writing words that you love to do. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you tried it out? What were your thoughts? Do you want to know more? Yeah, let me know what you think. I answer all of my comments. So I will see you all in the next video. And until then, happy writing. Hello, everybody. My name is Zuli Rain, and I am a freelance content creator. I make videos that help you grow your blogging empire. And I'm about to have to sneeze. Oh, Christ. Okay.